Have you ever wondered what fund groups do to earn their fees? We've all seen the slick marketing, but what really goes on inside Britain's investment managers? I'm Sam Benstead from Interactive Investor, and for the second part of our Day in the Life series, I'm going even deeper into the world of fund management. Today I'm meeting Simm, CEO of Impax Asset Management, a UK-based investment manager with nearly £40 billion under management across listed and unlisted assets. Come with me to find out how the CEO of a leading fund group really spends his time. Hi Ian, it's Sam here. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Ian, thank you very much for having us at the Impax offices in London.
Most welcome.
We're here to find out what the day in the life of a CEO is really like. But first, can you give me a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I'd say I've got a pretty normal background. I went to a state school in North Yorkshire. I was lucky enough to get a place at Cambridge University to study physics, but what I really liked doing was being outside, hiking up mountains and just generally enjoying nature. And in my last year at university, I was in a bookstore and I picked up a book called Our Common Future, which was the report of the Brundtland Commission, which coined the phrase sustainable development and described how the planet was really going to struggle, society was going to struggle if we didn't change the way that we were shaping economic growth, if we didn't look after the environment. So I was inspired by this idea of sustainable development and really wanted a career in sustainable development. So this is in the late 1980s. So I then spent 10 years really working out what that career should be before I even started. But in the meantime, I took an expedition across the Sahara Desert and did some environmental consulting work, both in the Caribbean and in the Netherlands. And in 1998, alongside a small corporate finance business, I was able to start Impax Asset Management in the context of a World Bank mandate to set up one of the world's first solar energy funds. So that's how we got started.
Let's talk about your day then. So let's go from the very beginning. What time do you get up in the morning and how are you getting into the office?
Right, gosh, what time do I get up? Look, I get up about 7, sounds a bit late. I live quite close to work, so it's not too bad. So I think the most important thing for me is breakfast, because I really like to fuel properly for the day. I don't tend to eat much in the evening. I also actually do a bit of meditation in the morning, because I find that really helps to set my brain for the day. And then the other important thing I do is cycle to work. So that's about a 25-minute cycle ride. It's something like 4 miles. It's not very far, but it is through central London, so I have to be quite careful that I avoid the traffic, try and stay in the parks. And apart from not getting killed, which is a great way of getting your brain into a different gear, it's also a lot of fresh air, so really enjoy that as well.
So what time do you get in then, and what are the first things on your agenda?
So typically getting in around 8:30, 8:45, and always check email first. And then usually there's a meeting, something to do straight away at 9 o'clock. So we're sort of straight into the day. And my day tends to be a bit of a kind of patchwork of meetings that are set well in advance, like board meetings, ad hoc meetings to manage teams doing projects, and then time to kind of think and speak to colleagues around specific business ideas.
And are there meetings that you always have in your calendar? Or ones that come up occasionally as well?
Yeah, so these board meetings or the set meetings that are in the corporate calendar are fixed, usually a year in advance. I tend to check in every couple of weeks with senior colleagues. I have 7 people who report to me directly.
And what is your leadership style? How are you making decisions, and do you outsource a lot of those to your colleagues?
Well, generally, I try to hire fabulous people and then let them get on with it, but within the context of a vision and a business plan that I feel like I'm the curator of and guardian of. So set the plan and then make sure that the team is run by individuals who are fabulous. So that's the starting point. Once the team is assembled and we've got a clear plan, then we do check in as a management committee on a monthly basis just to make sure that there's an understanding about how we're getting on. And the team can discuss whether there's a need to adjust the short-term tactics, if you like, and also that people who are making decisions within that that delegated framework are getting as much input from colleagues and really getting challenged within the management group. So yes, I mean, I'm sure every leader likes to say that they are the perfect delegator. I have to say, as a sort of trained scientist, as a physicist, I'm quite interested in the detail. I don't ignore the detail. So I check in and sort of do a deep dive now and again to see how the detail's working out. But I also do like to set boundaries and space for people to make decisions, and definitely don't make every decision myself.
Impax is an investment business. You're the Chief Executive Officer. Are you involved in any investment decisions, and how do you manage your investment managers?
Well, I think in simple terms, Impax in the investment sense is two things. First of all, a listed investment business, and secondly, a private investments business. So in the listed investment space, then we have a great team with around 45 people, and I really don't take investment decisions in that area. But what I think of myself as is the guardian of the investment process. So I'm checking the results, checking the investment performance against plan, and if there's an under-delivery or underperformance, then I'm asking questions and making suggestions for how things perhaps could be improved. So that's listed investments. And on the private investment side, we've been doing that since 2005. We have a slightly smaller team, probably about half the size of listed investments, and there I'm the chairman of the investment committee. So with a small group of other senior colleagues, we're making a collective decision, if you like.
What are the best and worst parts of your day as the CEO?
The best parts of the day in terms of the time in the office as opposed to breakfast?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, look, I'm incredibly proud of the team that we've built here, and when there's great success, either winning new clients or making great investment returns, getting a new product off the ground, implementing a new piece of software, for example, in the back and middle office, or producing a really fabulous annual report, I get a great sense of pride and achievement in those successes. But at the same time, I'm also quite ambitious for the business, and I really enjoy the calculated risk-taking, if you like, to make sure that we're making the most of the opportunity. In terms of the worst things, I suppose what I really struggle with is bureaucracy on the one hand, so unnecessary paperwork and spending time and resources creating documents or procedures that frankly are not adding to either the resilience of the business or the realisation of the opportunities. I really don't like politics, so I've quite deliberately stayed away from big companies because I want to be able to create a meritocracy, if you like, a business where people are straightforward, communicate clearly, and don't undermine their colleagues. And I think we've been really successful at that. And I think I also really don't like inappropriate risk aversion. So I think of myself as a calculated risk taker, and if somebody is being unduly negative or bearish, then I don't particularly like that. Which is not to say I don't like challenge or somebody to describe what the downside might be, but if they're being unduly cautious, then that's not great.
Is there time for yourself just to think about strategic objectives and to take a step back from running the business during your day?
Well, during the working day, as I said before, it's a bit of a patchwork. It's never the same because of the rapidly changing nature of the business. Things are always popping up, and the fact that the kind of set meetings are set on different time frames. So every day is different. I do make sure that I don't cram the day from 8:30 till finish time with meetings. So there's always space to check in on incoming messages, to think about who perhaps I need to reach out to that I haven't spoken to externally or internally for a while. I suppose I don't sort of sit back and kind of think great thoughts on a structured basis, but maybe when I'm cycling to work or the weekends, ideas pop up.
And what time are you typically finishing then?
Well, these days I'm generally finishing around 6:30, 6:45 before I jump on the bike to cycle home, and I don't work in the evenings. So I'm just thinking, actually, in the past, maybe in the first decade of the business, then I would be working to some degree in the evenings, maybe 2-3 days a week, and then also potentially a little bit at the weekends. But this has never been a 7-day-a-week job. I mean, the other point, of course, is that I do travel, so I'm away for maybe 5 or 6 weeks a year, either in the United States, where we have about 1/3 of our staff and about 1/4 of our business in terms of clients, or in Asia and Australia, where we've got a small team in Hong Kong, a small team in Tokyo, and really not only a growing business, but a growing opportunity to build our brand.
So you're not working all the time. What do you get up to in the evenings and on the weekends?
Well, in the evenings, apart from dinner, which, as I said earlier, is not very big, but is quite important, then what I really like doing is playing the piano. And my mum actually encouraged me to play the piano from an early age. And I actually have two pianos at home, an upright piano and a grand piano. And so I can't play two at once, obviously, but I do play the piano for between sort of 10 and 30 minutes a day. So that's the main way to relax.
And what type of music are you playing?
Well, I grew up going through the sort of classical training and did all the exams, or most of the exams. And yet what I really like doing is jazz piano. So I find that the classical piano I play to sort of to relax and just sort of go through something which I know pretty well. If I'm playing a piece I've played many times before. And jazz piano, if I'm feeling a little bit more energetic and a bit more creative, then I'll do some of that as well.
Ian, it's been fantastic hearing about your day.
Thanks very much.
Have you got time to show me around?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's been a really interesting morning, Sam. Thanks so much for taking some time to come and see us.
It's been great. So nice to meet you, and thank you very much.